Welcome to the Heart to Heartland podcast. Here are your hosts.
Welcome back, guys. It's another podcast for
We're
you.
on,
Yeah,
yeah, and we're on episode 22,
yeah. Time goes
which is
fast.
like one of my lucky numbers, so this should
Huh.
be a good episode. And you guys are obviously you can tell by the title, we're probably talking about your favorite characters this week. So,
Yeah. But first, let us go through a few updates. Not much this week, but I'm
mm-mm.
sure the rest of the episode is going to be long. So,
Yes. So, as you guys know, even Heartland posted about the Stand Up to Cancer event. Amber and Sean had both made these little messages for it. So you'd think, they would be on it, right? Because it said featuring Amber, Sean, and then there were some other Canadians that were supposed to make this appearance or something. And I watched the full thing and I didn't see them at all. I didn't see, it was just all like the US people. Like, I don't know, I didn't see them anywhere.
yeah, I kept expecting it to be like a little bit different from the American version.
Yeah. I honestly think it's the same thing because because I found, well, on the CBC Gem is where you can watch Stand Up to Cancer Canada 2021, but then you click on it and it just plays the US version or whatever, and I didn't see any of the Heartlands people or any of the other Canadians that they said would be there.
Yeah,
So
that's
I don't know.
like
I don't know. So
if
I don't
anyone
know.
saw something, like,
Yeah.
please let us know.
Well, that's what got me thinking that I'm wondering if those clips they posted on Instagram is it. I wonder, like, they're just telling people to watch it. They're not actually going to be on it.
Yeah, but it's like there was
It
that
doesn't make any sense.
news release or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's like getting this hype up, and I was like, okay, they're doing like a little bit, like,
yeah,
from,
or even just like a little message or something, right? Like,
yeah,
like that's what I thought was going to happen,
but apparently not.
I wasted an hour of my life.
Yeah,
but we're standing up to cancer, so I'm not gonna be
like, the message
that
is
sounds
still the
so bad,
same.
guys.
Yeah, but like, it's like
they raised like 183 million, so I mean,
whoa.
Yeah, that's in Canadian.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, especially knowing the current state of the world. Like, people might not have that much money, but I'm glad that,
I know, I find it funny how all these incredibly rich celebrities are asking everybody else for money. Like, are you guys millionaires or something?
Yeah, like, I hope.
Why are you asking the poor for money?
Made like a huge donation, because
yeah,
like,
that would be BS if they just live off of the poor and then they don't even donate anything.
Yeah, like, I'm donating my time. Like, that's
yeah,
it.
right.
Like,
right.
really?
Where do you have to be right now? We're in a pandemic.
Yeah, like, from your mansion, and sure.
Yeah, so that was all excitement for nothing. Sorry. Yeah. So if you guys saw something that I didn't see or we couldn't find, please tell us.
Yeah. But other better news, Ava Tran and Chris Potter celebrated birthdays recently. So
wait, so how old's Chris now then? Because him and Sean are pretty close in age. So
yeah,
Sean turns 60, right? Sean's 60.
Yeah, I think so.
So Chris is 58, I think.
But Ava turned 13, so.
Oh, she's a teenager.
Yeah.
What? He's 61. Wait a minute.
So that means
Sean that he's old. Oh, Sean's 62. They're literally the same age. I thought it was more than that. It says so it's saying like the internet's saying Sean's 62 and Chris is 61. I thought for sure Chris was a couple years yet younger.
No.
So that's funny.
Yeah, but it's always interesting because, Jack is obviously older than Tim, right. But they put a wig on and make him look older. Yeah. So it's like, huh. But, when you see Sean as Sean, it's like obvious that
it's honestly like a whole other person, it feels like. Yeah, but that's a good thing because that means it's doing their job.
Yeah, like, even the way he talks is different.
His voice, yeah.
Yeah. And last
Absolutely.
week, after we had wrapped up our episode, Gabriel Hogan posted this like selection of pictures from the set. There were pictures of the crew and him riding a horse, and then, casually just dropping these pictures of Jessica's and Tim's wedding, like no big deal. I mean, we
Okay.
were already like speculating that that's what that was, but now it's like it's pretty obvious.
And okay, and we posted our texts about this, that I'm really upset that this wasn't a surprise. Everything else is spoiled, basically. And I was like, I just want this. I don't want to know what's happening. I just want to be so surprised. But oh, she's wearing Lisa's dress. Obviously Tim's in this brown tux or whatever.
Yeah, and
then
she
all at the
has
Dude Ranch
rings
and-
on, and
Yeah, and she has this huge diamond on her hand. And you know what? You know what makes this even worse? Heartland shared it on their story, and I quote in the blog said, "I wonder what's happening." What do you mean?
yeah, like Tim even had this like flower thing on.
Yeah.
Yes, like
She has a diamond on her hand. She's wearing white. Everyone's dressed up. The Dude Ranch is dressed up.
yeah.
Tim's, yeah. You're trying to. What do you mean? What's gonna happen? Is it a baptism? Are you gonna baptize someone in the lake?
Yeah, like maybe
Yeah,
they're
I
already
genuinely wonder.
like married at that point and something else is going on, but I seriously doubt that.
And I'm like, why? I was really hoping that they would like tell him to delete it, because I really wanted them to at least try to keep it a secret. But
Yeah.
they don't care. And it's like, are we stupid? I wonder what's happening.
Yeah. Or is this like leading us to something else? I don't know. But it was kind of like, because I enjoy us speculating and just like
Yeah. There goes
trying to
all our
guess.
work out the window.
Yeah, it's like, come on, that's too easy. Like now we know for sure.
It's so sad because no one's going to remember that before any of it was confirmed. We already guessed it.
Yeah.
Before there was like any information.
Yeah. And it's usually like, well, Amber posted on her newsletter that there's a celebration going on in episode 6 of season 15.
And that's all she could say.
Yeah, like it was kind of hinted that she can't say too much. And we know that, or at least some point, they had to get the pictures they post approved by someone.
Yeah.
But I don't know about these days. I mean,
well, even when I had my time on set, they had to approve photos that I posted. Like, yeah. I'm sorry,
but there's
I kept the Mallory secret for 4 months. What has Gabe done? Nothing.
No, we don't hate Gabe here. We're
just I love Gabe. This is just as a joke.
Yeah,
just joking around.
But at least there's one mystery, because there was this young girl sitting between, I think, Jessica and Peter. And she was, I don't know, she was wearing
She looked like she's 16.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. She has gorgeous hair. She's wearing this beautiful dress.
Yeah.
And
she's holding some kind of bottle, so
yeah.
Because at first I was like, did they replace Katie again? But that would mean that she would be a lot older than, and it would be weird because then at the same time, we have Parker and Lindy there who have aged appropriately.
Yeah.
And then unless
whatever way this is going, whether because I posted on the story about who people think it is, and the majority of people think it's either Katie or Jessica has a daughter, and either way, it's either going to be one of the two for sure.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be awful. Either way, there's going to be like a massive plot hole.
Something like, I don't know, like Dude Ranch has a summer intern or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
But like, why would she be there?
I mean, I do feel bad for the people who have to cast characters because they've had to cast Katie like 4 times.
Yeah.
So I do feel bad for them, but like, you tell me you couldn't find someone who's even like shorter. She literally looks like she could drive.
Yeah, and what's with the bottle? Like,
I know, is she an Elkie?
Yeah,
Like, this is what I mean.
And I doubt that, you know, they were just sipping, you know, beer or something between the scenes or anything like that. But it's just like,
how old is
I
she?
kind of want her to be Katie, but then at the same time, it's like another recast, and you know, I don't know, like what's going on, and
like at most she would be like 12 years old.
Yeah,
she should be 12 or 13. Which I mean,
so
I guess she could play a 13-year-old, but it's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Well, I'll guess we'll see, but
Yeah.
like,
I hope she does Katie justice, because obviously it's Katie. I mean, I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah.
It would be really, really dumb of them to bring in a daughter for Jessica. That's literally a Shane thing.
Yeah,
because they're gonna bring her in for 2 episodes. It's my long lost daughter, and then we're never gonna see her again. Just like with Shane.
Because if it was Jessica's daughter, I think maybe she would have mentioned her before, because
that's exactly. So if they were to bring it up now, it makes no sense.
Yeah, unless there's like some kind of story like, oh, we hate each other, but like, why would Jessica, who's like the sweetest person on earth,
I know,
have that
and she's like this hardcore businesswoman from New York.
Yeah,
so
unless,
like I said, I doubt she has children. Not like you can't have kids and be a working person, but that's, in this particular case, I really don't think that she has a kid.
Yeah. And I don't remember exactly what Lou said. Was it just about because she was fired, or what it was that she had against Jessica last season when she came in, or was she?
I think it was just because she got her fired.
Yeah,
I believe.
So she wasn't a nasty person before. Now all of a sudden she's like the sweetest person. I don't think so.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, but
well, and that's the thing. You can't, like, she can't just show up and Jessica be like, oh my god, I have a daughter. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, unless it's like,
I have a daughter?
Gave up her for adoption and now she's here because she's 18 and she gets to know who I am or something. I don't know. Well, we just have to wait and see.
That's the other thing. Do you think they're going to do a time jump?
No. Because of the kids. Like, maybe if there weren't any kids, like, sure.
Lindy.
Yeah.
Lindy, yeah. I'm just trying to make sense of this Katie thing.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I wish we could at least find this person's Instagram or get a name or something just to get, you know what I mean? I want to know who that is. Even not necessarily as a character. I would just like, you know,
just get like a feel of kids.
Yeah.
You know who they are. And
because I've always loved Katie.
Yeah. So as for the last thing, I have this thing. You remember back in season 13 when Ty and Amy were shot, right?
Yes.
There was this guy called Grady, played by Scott Lunek. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I'm just gonna send you this picture he posted way back when he did season 13.
I haven't seen all of season 13.
I'm gonna post this on Instagram as well. So if you're just listening, you can just check it out. So you see this guy. He's wearing this.
He must not be too important. Was he the dude who set the traps or whatever?
Well, he was working for JD and he was shooting the wolf, and Ty and Amy got in the middle of all this. But basically it's this dude who's wearing this gray cap and has this gray hoodie on. And I've been following this guy on Instagram, and a couple of days ago he posted this picture that he's shooting something right now. It doesn't say, like, it just says that he's shooting in Alberta. So it's the same outfit, right?
No.
So does this mean that the guy who shot Ty and Amy?
Okay. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, how stupid is it that someone literally shot and killed someone when we haven't heard anything about this person?
Yeah.
It's
Because
just like,
I know a lot of
this-
fans were like,
no.
what happened to them? And like in season 13 finale, Lou
No, I'm not
shows
shitting you
this.
right now. It's literally this exact same.
Yeah, it doesn't have Heartland tag, but it's like the same outfit. So now I'm wondering, is this like flashbacks or is this guy free? Because I had to actually check like what Lou said to Mitch about this guy and JD back in season 13 finale, and she said that JD's henchman squealed. So he must have
No.
So did he
Have you
get
seen
out?
this new post?
Did he post?
16 hours ago, you liked it. But no. Remember how they were filming at the gas station?
Yeah, I was
Look what's in the background. Look what's in the effing background, the gas station.
Yeah, but I dug up the outfit because I thought like this is for sure the, same guy. But in the first picture, he has like, the lip is like, what do you call it? Like when it's like someone's hit you in the face and the lip is like jacked.
Yeah, I just showed the picture, but
punched him. So I wonder if, because there was this video of Amy at the gas station, like maybe she sees him, and it's kind of like Georgie with that guy who caused the accident of her parents.
I am dying right now. I have wanted this. This is what I wanted for this season.
Yeah.
Because they just let the villains get away with stuff so often.
Yeah. So I was, I had to bring this up in case this is,
girl,
Heartland related.
You could work for the CIA.
Yeah. But it's just, I can kind of see it happening. And I'm glad that if they're doing it, because it just seemed way too easy that we never got to hear Amy talk about like that poacher or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
That
like, just made my whole week. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, but I wanted to get that out there in case that's what's going to happen. But it's just speculation at this point.
Shooketh. That's crazy.
Had to check that I'm not crazy.
No, but the literal gas station is in the actual background of this picture. I commented on it, so let's see if he replies. He liked it. He liked it.
What did you write?
A Heartland question mark.
So he's not admitting, but...
Well, someone on the show can keep a freaking secret.
Yeah, true.
No disrespect. Please know that I joke when I say these things.
But, Michelle is directing these episodes they're currently filming
and she
right
said
now.
They're Amy heavy.
Yeah, big episodes for Amy. So
I woke up my dog. Sorry,
let's get this on the record. Like, I've predicted this based on this guy's posts.
I don't even know. How do you find this stuff? You are an actual... I'm scared of you. Do you work for the government?
I'm not allowed to.
Are you a Finnish spy?
I mean, I've been called...
Are you a Finn spy?
What
is it? CSI Finland?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they called you.
Yeah, so it's not for nothing.
You have an eye. You have two good eyes.
No, but it's sometimes I have this like photographic memory, and I'm like, able to kind of think back, like, wait a minute, there was this thing, and
that's so cool.
Yeah. So
okay, I got this is just.
I wanted to keep that as a surprise to get your like honest reaction.
You got it.
Okay, so how this came to me was I was watching the picture of the pictures he posted. It was like late at night, so I kept thinking like he has to be filming Heartland, because it's the same outfit. Like, what other show would have him dressed in the exact same clothes? So I fell asleep, and I kept having dreams like about Heartland. Like, he kept posting videos from the set with Amber was there, Michelle was there, And I was like, I need to say these because I need to build this theory about him being back and everything. And then I just woke up and I was like, okay, I have to check the picture from season 13 so I can compare the outfits, and the outfits were the same. So
I think we need help.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
we're grown-ass adults.
Yeah, I don't
That
know
is
why
the best.
my brain is the way it is.
Yeah,
I
but
was
do you know how
streaming.
often, guys, do you guys know how often we talk about this stuff all the time? Do you know how often we have weird dreams like this and shit? And I'll be like, hey, guess what happened? And it's like, this is what we talk about all the time.
Yeah. And like last Tuesday when we saw the pictures from the wedding, it was like I was about to go to sleep, and then it was like
Oh,
2
I
hours
hate
later,
that.
and I was like, I can't stop talking
Oh
about
my
this
God,
because
no, I
it's
hate when that happens. No,
yeah,
you're right, because there would be times I would see pictures at work and I'm like, I can't go back to work now. I need to sit with this for an hour first.
yeah.
Yeah, because you get excited and then the theories go through your head.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I know that it's not like really important, but like,
to us it
sometimes
is.
sometimes
To
you
us
just
it is, honestly.
you just can't stop thinking about some things, and
I'll
then
be
you
the first to admit that I love this show with more, with all the love I have to give.
yeah. And it's like, while it's frustrating sometimes
Oh
to
yeah.
have these like things happen, it's also like kind of the
Yeah.
the thing
It's
that
been
keeps
like, yeah.
you like excited
It's
about
been
things.
like a 10-year relationship that we've
Yeah.
been in. That's how I see this.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. And then when we end up breaking up, when they end the show, do not talk to me for about 2 years.
Yeah, like
That's how long it's gonna take. Anyways.
the level of being a fan of the show with this
Mm-hmm.
show is like crazy. But
It's something else.
yeah,
Even for proof of what day we figured out this theory, it's Tuesday, August 24th. So if anyone figures it out after this, liar.
yeah.
But this is the other thing that totally makes sense to me now. So Michelle posted this video on her story about setting up the last shot at this gas station.
Friday.
And then you go and you see Amber in the truck. See?
Yeah, she's waiting.
You know what
everyone.
I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, because I'm
She
thinking
drives past the gas station, she sees who it is, slams out the brakes, gets out, and punches him in the face. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, and it's just like
because there's no one else on set. There was no one else in the truck, so who's gonna punch him?
Yeah, and why would she be
Not
there?
me.
Like, what's the storyline? Like
Oh
with the gas
my
station?
Gosh, I'm alive and thriving today.
Yeah, but it's gonna be pretty intense. I just hope she
see
doesn't.
How much info we can get out of almost nothing.
Yeah, I mean, not saying don't post stuff from the set. Please do post.
Bring it on.
We just need something to trigger our brain so we can think about
you don't even have to post a lot. All you gotta do is post a video that you think is harmless, and we can figure out that a villain's coming back, and then
because like he has some of the props they have on this gas station behind him. In one of the pictures, he has this
he's literally has the background.
Yeah, so
I wonder if he was because he doesn't have like Heartland as a hashtag, and he didn't reply to my comment. I'm wondering if like he was actually told not to say anything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They actually
or maybe he just knows.
To be a surprise. So
maybe he just knows that you shouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
maybe
because
that's
especially if Amy is punching him, it's a big deal.
It is a really big deal.
Yeah, like I
hope she does. I hope she just lets him have it.
Yeah, but I also wonder if someone sees it and it's like, what's going on here? And I'm calling the cops. Like,
then she gets arrested or something.
Yeah.
No. This could be good.
Yeah, and it's.
I mean, he killed her husband, so who knows? You don't know what you don't know what you would do until you're in that moment.
Because
and I mean, I don't blame her. I'd probably punch him and go to jail too.
Yeah, like she already feels guilty of him saving her, and now there's this guy possibly at her reach. So who's to say what you do in that situation? Because emotions
absolutely.
are high.
Yeah, that's when a lot of things happen, right? Like,
yeah, and we've seen Amy slap Chase before, so it's not beyond her in a way.
Yeah. But if she somehow hit this guy so much that he bled, she's not slapping this one. She's punching him.
Yeah.
Or something. Like that much so that he bled. And I would hope that, he obviously doesn't hit her back. You know what I mean?
No,
but
obviously we don't know this guy well, but
no.
maybe he even feels a little bit guilty about it.
That's what I was thinking.
He's like, okay, I deserve that. Like,
yeah,
like that's.
He seemed like such an. Yeah. Now that I can recall who he is, he wasn't a very nice person.
Yeah, but he was kind of like, just doing what JD wanted. Like he basically didn't have like a lot of attitude or like spine. He just
honestly, yes, he was the guy who pulled the trigger, but I really feel like JD should be paying for this too.
Yeah, because he was the mastermind behind.
Yeah, if anything, he honestly, because this was technically premeditated, JD would technically get charged with either first or second degree murder.
Yeah, and I think because this guy Grady, told the cops what happened, that he was trying to shoot the wolf, like they must have given him some like
he'd still get in trouble, but he wouldn't be in near as much trouble as JD would.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens in Heartland World.
Yeah. So today we thought we'd do Ty and Amy as a couple deep dive episode because, you guys have been wanting it. And, after season 14, I think maybe it's time to do this. Because right now...
relationship's over now.
Yeah, like, of course, love lasts forever.
Right.
But, like, now we've seen the actions as a whole. And so we asked you guys to give us your opinion about the couple because, we know a lot of people love them. And, I don't feel like us just talking about them would do like justice to all the emotions that people are feeling about them. Because
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. It's 14 seasons of this love story and people were
14
very involved.
So fortunate.
Yeah,
right.
So I posted this picture on our Instagram, H2HL podcast, and I asked like, what are your favorite Tammy scenes, and did you like their wedding, and what were the biggest themes in their relationship, and did you like all the choices the writers did with the ups and downs throughout their relationship? But just like share your thoughts and feelings about them as a couple. And there were a lot of replies, so thanks for that. A lot of them were long, so I'm just gonna go in.
Please do. Yeah. This is good.
Okay, so Amber Marshall fan _ simply said they are cute together. And then Ariel, sorry if I'm saying this wrong.
We try.
Yeah, like _ said, I love the early season when they are not a couple. They try to understand what they really want, and I love the way they interact. Ups and downs was needed to add a little trauma and not having a monotono. How do you say that?
Like, what's the word? How do you spell it?
It's like monotone, but as a like an adjective.
No,
like not like one-sided relationship with nothing happening like the last seasons. For the wedding, I wanted a summer wedding, not one in the middle of winter. So what are your thoughts about that?
Agree.
Comment.
Yeah, I'd say agreed.
Yeah.
I did definitely wanted to see a summer wedding for them, and do think that their chemistry was a lot better at probably first 6 seasons, I'd say. First 5 seasons, maybe.
I always wanted to see a summer wedding as well. But then at the same time, I know that Heather kind of borrowed a lot of things from Amber's wedding. So because Amber's wedding was during summer month, maybe they didn't want to do an exact copy because, like, Amber was wearing her own wedding dress,
her actual dress,
she was riding down the aisle, so to speak, like Amber. And Heather even admitted when she was at Amber's wedding that she was kind of writing notes down about what she wanted.
Yeah, because at that time they would have been at season 7 filming, so it would have been the wedding was the following season. So I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think even though I wasn't a complete fan of season 8, if I just think about the wedding as itself, like, the setting and the vows and everything like that, I think it was very them.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a fan of the back and forth, like, let's elope and let's not, and suddenly this is happening and everything. And it's just like, I was like, okay, like, just give the fans what they want and don't continue the toy with their people's emotions. So
agree.
Then Alberta Dream said, I've always thought highly of Ty. He had always been a trustworthy boyfriend, husband, and father. He always tried to do his best and to do everything right. Sometimes I didn't like that Amy challenged him in something so hard and questioned him so much. He believed and supported her from the start until the end in everything she did. I can't say that I like all the choices the writers did, especially the downs and breakups. Those were one too many, LOL. Their wedding was beautiful, but not my favorite. Surprisingly, I didn't like the part with the horses. My favorite Tammy scene is the one at the lake where they ride horses into the water. Also, that little dance on Ty's truck was beautiful. Next to building up a strong foundation of their life, I think their biggest theme was also that dream to work together, running that business where she trains horses and he works as a vet. Too bad this didn't last long.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with all of that, honestly.
And I think there are a lot of, scenes to choose from when it comes to favorite scenes. I mean, those are two really good ones, I think. And a lot of scenes were iconic, like right away, like the kiss in the rain and the dancing at the end of the truck and all these things.
The dance, so the season 3, episode 3, when they dance, when she goes to her, it was just a school dance or something. I can't even remember at this point. And they dance on the back of the truck. That was like, that was probably my favorite. And I was such a fan of them at the time. And like, obviously had this huge crush on Ty. I was like 11. And I wanted the dress she was wearing. I loved the dress she was wearing.
It was beautiful.
Yes. And I got my hair done the same way she had her hair done for my graduation. Because like, that's how obsessed I was with that scene.
I know some people are like, I wish they'd be more mature about their relationship. And I get that. But at the same time, I kind of like that they, like, there are a lot of couples to choose from, not just in Heartland, but overall. And I think especially in the early seasons, that like they did something that's very different from a lot of shows. And I think that's good to have out there in the world, like just show that kind of innocent, playful love. So it doesn't have
they're
to
so
be
young.
So because a lot of shows these days are like, everything has to be like really dramatic, life and death. And, Ty and Amy had those moments as well, but it was done in kind of a soft way, and everything was always fine in the end. So I think
that's fair.
It's special in that kind of way, especially in the early seasons. Like I remember being drawn to that kind of, I don't know, different
like
kind
that
of
young puppy love.
Yeah, that like teenage years, like angst and everything. Like
reminds you of like your first love, basically.
Yeah, like everything was so like intense, and at the end of the world was ending. And obviously now that I'm older, I view it very differently, but like, you know, when you're younger, you kind of, you know, want what they have.
Oh yeah, it's interesting how perspective changes as you grow up, you know, go through different stages of your life.
Miss Poppins 3 said, I like the earlier seasons where they are friends and in the young part of their love. As the seasons progressed, I didn't like how the writers wrote their relationship. And I definitely agree with that, because I feel like up to season 7, you know, I had this feeling like, you know, they had their problems, especially with communicating with each other. Like there were a lot of that, but I always felt like they were going towards something better and they were maturing like slowly. But I feel like season 8 kind of wrecked that for me. And
it was like, I felt like we were going backwards instead of forwards.
And then I was like, I remember thinking after season 8, I was like, okay, they're married now, like maybe like they're like taking this more seriously and like fixing kind of what they had broke that season in a way. But then I don't know, like season 9, Amy was just kind of like Stepford five kind of person. Like she was like, okay, yes, let's do this. And like, I don't know, it just felt imbalanced. And then season 10 forward, it just went downhill for me.
It was over for me at 10. I was slowly starting to get there around 8, but then 10 happened and I was like, okay, that's it. Not only did I feel like the chemistry wasn't there, but it felt like they were like an old married couple, not in the good way. You know what I mean?
And I think, you know, like people love to blame that, you know, Amber got married and Graham got married. Like
I remember that.
Like I don't think that's the problem, because, you know, they're actors, so they can act. And you know, I don't think that was like, I think they would have had chemistry even if they were both married, but it was just the writing choices that it always felt to me like they weren't connecting anymore. Like they were kind of saying things and the other one was saying something else, and it just kept like going above the other, and it just never like connected again. So I just like, I think the writing was the problem, the way that they didn't like take care of their relationship in a way that I maybe pictured during the earlier seasons.
And it's like, you know, they did Ty's death while season 14 was good, and it really made me feel like it was Ty and Amy again, even though Ty was gone. It just, you know what I'm talking about, that feeling. But shit, where was I going with this? What was I talking about? Oh my god.
If I can say something, like, I think,
of course,
like, because they had this kind of long distance relationship dynamics throughout season 10 and 11. I think those kind of relationships 13. Can work. I think they were trying to show that they can, but I feel like maybe it was because they weren't actually acting with each other. It was just like screens and like, I don't know if it's that, but I felt like the connection disappeared like through that thing.
I mean, we don't have no idea what happens behind the scenes, but we can admit that it did start to change when Amber got married. Not saying that has anything to do with it, but that seems to be around the time where everything changed. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it was around season 8, then it's like,
But I think it could be hard to fall back into that, like, that flow or something. Like, because you haven't seen each other for maybe months, and then you're supposed to.
That's true.
Because in a real relationship, you have that 24/7 kind of connection, even if you're not talking. But then, you know, you just have these actors acting against a screen, and you don't see each other for a month, and you know, obviously they're not nurturing this relationship aside those scenes. So maybe it was kind of like that. I don't know.
I think that's a really good way of putting it, because that makes sense.
Yeah, that's just.
But like, I feel like every time that he would leave and come back or whatever, and then they would be like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right when they would, especially when in season 10, when Ty basically died and then came back from the dead, and then they broke him out of the hospital. It was just, it felt rushed. It felt, I don't know, I did not like the writing in that episode. The season 10 finale.
I don't know if it was because Graham wanted out during season 12.
I feel maybe 13. His heart just wasn't in it anymore. So
because I always felt like, before we even knew that he was gonna, you know, leave the show, I always felt like they were just two kind of like co-workers, and then there wasn't a lot of this like magic that would make me believe that they're, you know, happily married. But then, you know, they have like kisses and stuff like that, kind of like as a reminder, like, these people are a couple, like,
we're still married.
Like,
barely.
I know you can't really tell otherwise, but we're kissing, so we're a couple. So that's just how it always felt to me. And you know, you can't really, you know, have that magic back if you're not.
I think that's a really good way of putting it, because I do feel like obviously the chemistry wasn't there anymore, but the why, it could definitely be me. Graham's heart wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah, and they were like, well, let's
do the bare minimum.
Like, let's just give the fans what they want. Like let's have this like baby, and let's have these like moments with Luke, and like have these trips together, and you know, talk about these things like our future, our house, and everything. Like, kind of like giving the things that the fans had always wanted to see, kind of like, okay, here have this, and here have that, before we kill him off, so you can't say that we didn't like try. Because basically, I never thought they'd do the house thing for real.
Of course not. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Same with Lou and Peter.
So
I knew that wasn't going to happen.
It was like they were like, oh, we're totally making this happen. You know, the house is there, and it's like, well,
but now he's dead, so we don't have to do it.
So it was like as if it wasn't their fault anymore to kind of.
I mean, I'm sure Graham must have gave them some difficult time, and so they had to figure out how to do certain storylines and try to keep the Tammy fans happy at the same time, which is not easy.
Yeah, because they had to kind of wrap things up, because, you know, after season 13, you know, that was that kind of thing. And I still
like, I mean, I don't know why they didn't just kill him off when the chemistry was still good, but
I just feel like maybe it was a contract thing, and they wanted to kind of get these things out of the way, and kind of like that, because looking back at it now, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, they had this Luke thing to show that, you know, Ty could be a father to this boy.
God, because I didn't think of that.
Because a lot of fans wanted him to have a son. You know, but you know, if he would have just had another baby, it would have just been a baby.
And so they really tried to fit everything in before he passed away. So I can see that. Yeah.
And then
I mean, at least they did that.
yeah.
For the Ty and Amy fans who don't care, right? Like, because like just with me and Jack and Lisa, it could be the worst storyline, but it's like, hey, at least they get something, right?
Yeah. And I think, even in season 13 finale, like they have this like heart to heart, and Ty's like, well, you can, have a breakdown with me anytime. And it kind of, it's like, I don't know, it feels like this swan song or something. Like they're giving this like relief, like, these people are happy and like everything's fine and they're connected. And then, there's this guy with a gun, and then everything just changes. And then, season 13 finale with Amy working with the horses, and everything's just like perfect. And then bam, life changes.
I'm trying to think of what the very last shot of season 13 is. Like the closing.
It's Amy at the ring with the horses, and Ty and Lindy.
Oh my god, how did I not know that? Yeah, because that's how season 14 started out. Yeah. Okay.
But I think I've said this before, but I'm kind of glad that they ended it that way, because this way their fans can be like, okay, 13 seasons, like that was it for me, like thanks, but that's enough. Like I don't want to see him die, and so I don't have to go on.
That's true. They could have for the people who are like really big Thai fans who couldn't watch that, because I'm sure it was hard. I'd probably bawl my eyes out if it was Jack or Lisa.
Yeah. So this way they can kind of choose.
So if they don't want to, exactly, if they don't want Ty to be dead in their imagination, then don't watch season 14.
It's like,
perfect ending.
They they build their house, and they
they live happily ever after,
and
and they have a son and whatever.
These two horses are keeping Amy busy, and and then it's like this alternative universe with season 14, like he dies.
I still can't believe it sometimes.
Yeah, but I always like the fact that they, I mean, it was obvious that they had, like, there was going to be a thing, just like in the books, but like I still appreciated that they tried to build this foundation as friends, because that really helps in a relationship when you have hard times. You have your best friend with you in a way. Abby Rose 5 wrote, okay, so this is going to be a long one. I loved how Ty always tried so hard for Amy and protected her. You can always see the love in their eyes. Their friendship was truly amazing, even when they weren't together. Some of my favorite Amy's moments are when they got back together in Pike River, when they tried to elope. The first, I love you, and the way Amy cared for him when he was sick after Amy's accident. Ty stayed with her, and all she wanted was Ty. I love their wedding, and the plane crash was so amazing. When he fell off the cliff, the motorcycle crash, when Spartan got stolen, and This Is Me Coming Home Alone to You. When Amy had Lindy, that's a good one. When she tells Ty he's going to be a father, and when Ty was lost in Mongolia, dancing at the
that is a good scene.
Yeah, dancing at the truck, the promise ring, those are some of my favorites. I know it's a lot, but I couldn't pick, and I have more.
I do like the promise ring run. That's a good one.
Yeah, I saw this breadth of fans talking about, like, what do you think he meant with the promise ring? So what do you think? Like, what was that about to you?
To me personally, like, promise rings just basically mean you're gonna get married. You know what I mean? Like, this is my person. For right now, I promise to, like, be your friend, be your partner, and then that's going to turn into an engagement ring one day.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
They were really young at that point, so getting engaged wasn't really like
exactly. But he wanted to make some form of commitment.
Yeah.
Or to tell her that he was committed, basically, to show that he loved her and he was committed. I think that's what it means. I think it's a sign of commitment.
Yeah, because we don't, well, or I don't, at least, I didn't know what that was before seeing it
Okay.
at the show.
I don't know of too many people who've done it. Like, I know a few people who have, had their partners give them a promise ring, but I'm thinking it's more of like an old-fashioned thing that people used to do, because I really don't hear about it anymore.
And I think at the time when I read about it, I kept having these articles about Jonas Brothers or something. And
is there like a song by them?
I don't know, but aren't they religious in some ways or something? And I remember reading about it that it was kind of like a promise not to, be involved with it, that kind of stuff before marriage.
Okay, so I Googled it and it says commitment. Promise ring means commitment. Pre-engagement ring.
Yeah, so it can mean different things for different people. And I think
for sure.
Yeah, like what you said, it's kind of like pre-engagement ring, like I'm committed to this relationship, and I, no matter what comes, I'm gonna try to make this work, and everything like that. So that makes me think like because he gave her that in season 3, and then there's that scene where she kind of gives it back, but then at the end of the season she wants it back from him. And then we have season 4 with him coming home with letter. So
I remember my reaction to that too.
So what do you think that he was kind of still committed to whatever he was promising?
So my perspective of this is that yes, he was committed to Amy. I don't even think he realized, like most of the time men, they don't even realize that he was leading her on, and that he thought that they were friends, but she didn't, and she was taking everything he did and said as an advance to, whatever. So I just think he was incredibly clueless. And incredibly dumb, because, like, no offense, but boys can be really dumb sometimes. That's what I think happened.
Because I don't remember exactly if he admitted having a crush on her or not, but I think
I remember he said before this, I liked her, but I always wondered if that meant like or just like. Do you know what I mean?
Because I can understand that. Because it's kind of like Amy says at the end of the season 4, like, we're gonna have like these crushes on other people, but it doesn't mean that we kind of do anything about that. But I can understand in a way what Ty meant with that, because he was committed to Amy, but at the same time he was like, okay, so I'm having these feelings, like, what do they mean? Like, I can either like, not do anything, which was kind of what he did, but at the same time he brought her to Heartland, and there were all these reasons and whatever, but at the same time,
but then Blair also had a boyfriend too.
But at the same time, I think in a way, when there was that kiss, he kind of got his answer, like, okay, I don't want to be involved with this, and like I know that now for sure. And I think a similar thing happened with Amy and Chase as well.
I think that a lot of it would have gone better or different if Ty had been honest about it, though. Just like Amy was. And then when she said, I know that, if you ever had anything, you would tell me. And I'm like, yeah, this is gonna like end their relationship.
Because
this is not good. Secrets aren't good.
Because that's always the thing. Like,
they always come out. They always do. Someday, some way, somehow.
And then if you're kind of like lying about something, and then the other one's kind of like, okay, I have something to tell you, and I know that this is wrong and you would be better than me, it kind of gives that feeling like, okay, I'm not gonna like talk about this because it will only ruin this even more. But I think that at the same time, that kind of creates this false power position. Like, but I'm so much better than you, but at the same time, you're not.
Yeah.
And I think
that's what Lou does a lot too. Whenever secrets come up, and she just like, no, don't rock the boat. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're gonna be rocking a lot harder in the near future because you didn't decide to rock the boat now.
Yeah.
That's not good. You should.
Yeah.
I feel like that's if you can't be honest and trust your partner, what do you have?
Yeah. Even if it will hurt now a lot, and there's a possibility that, you know, your relationship will end because of it, at the same time, you know that you've been honest and true, and, you know, you have nothing to hide, and there's, you know, it's just you allow the other person to see you as you are, and it's up to them to kind of choose if they accept you as you are. And
because it's going to happen sooner or later. Now, speaking of that season 4 breakup with the whole Blair and Chase thing, so they make amends after she finds out about Blair, and they're like, okay, or whatever, and they're in that jumping ring, and then Blair shows up. Right, and then he says, anything you have to say, you can say in front of Amy, and she just leaves. And then they get into that fight in the barn, and then they break up. Now, what's your take on that? Like, do you have a particular side you were on for this, you know, argument breakup thing?
I mean, at the time, you know, I loved them as a couple, and you know, I could see both of their sides in a way, but at the same time, I don't know if it's what it was because, you know, I'm a girl or whatever, but I also like, there's this scene at the end of season 4 where Amy is being kind of like hurtful by saying something about like Blair or whatever it was, and Ty's like, well, how long are you gonna keep bringing that up?
Until it stops hurting.
And there was something in that scene that I could kind of, I don't know, see myself in, because I'm sensitive in the same way that maybe Amy is in a way, and it just made sense to me. Like, at the same time, I know that was hurtful of her to kind of say, but at the same time, it's like her showing that she's still hurting, and you know, there's still work to be done. So
because like, I think it takes 2 to make it work, and it can, you know, take 2 to break it too. So it's probably like a little bit of both of them. But I feel like in this particular case, I felt like Amy was in the right, because she was honest, and she told him exactly what had happened, and he lied to her blatantly multiple times.
I think even though
no wonder she had no trust when Blair showed up the second time.
And
like, I don't blame her.
Like, you can say whatever you want about her actions or like what happened, but at the same time, it's like the honesty is where it's the growth is, and the way to move forward. And
like, Ty gave her such a hard time about Chase when he was keeping a secret. That's even, in my opinion, bigger.
Because it's very hard to trust when you know that someone has kept something from you, and then it comes
basically
out.
Cheated.
It's like at least with Amy, you can kind of be like, okay, she made a mistake, but at least she can kind of admit that, and
she confessed it, she apologized, she's doing her best to make up for it, she did all the right things, and I'm glad she didn't listen to Lou and keep it to herself. Fuck. No wonder Lou can't hold a relationship.
But I think at the same time, the way season 4 ended, I think it was done well, because it wasn't like too much. It was kind of like giving that hope of, you know,
they were friends.
Like, we're getting there eventually. Like, we're not
and back season together 5 was so good for them. So good. And I love it when she it was like after the bike crash, and he notices that she's wearing her promise ring, and she's like, I started wearing it. Oh my god, I miss baby Tammy.
Yeah, and just, him getting more independent and her kind of having to deal with that.
Oh, right. Oh my god. So when that happened, her reaction to it, do you think that was like normal or overreacting?
I mean, I think, when you think about Amy's character as a whole, she has had a time with change. And I think some of that comes from her childhood because, she had a lot of change and
especially with her parents, right?
Yeah.
And her sister.
So there's not necessarily this like confidence that she has. So a lot of times, she's
she needed reassurance, I guess.
Yeah.
That it had nothing to do with her or their relationship.
Yeah.
He just wanted to have his own place.
And then you have Ty, who has history of running away and, like keeping her at arm's length or emotionally.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of where that fear was coming from. But I think it was important to show that because those are the kind of moments where you grow as a couple, when you have some kind of struggle. Absolutely. And then you have to kind of figure out like how do you make this work, because even if the situation isn't ideal, like if we want to be committed to each other, like we have to figure this out.
Right.
And I think
that's
it worked out well.
Yeah, I think that was like, I mean, they ended up breaking up in season 8 again, which I felt was really uncalled for.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a good, healthy breakup because they end up becoming friends, and then, they end up being friends again, and then obviously as a couple.
Like, because I think if so I have this problem with season 8. Like they break up, or Ty wants a break, or it's kind of unclear to Amy what's going on, and he doesn't want to
she's
talk.
got no idea.
So anyways, and then suddenly they have this Spike River reunion, and they don't really talk much, but then it's suddenly like, let's kiss and get back together. And
let's get married.
It was kind of like, no.
Rushed.
Like, don't do that. Because if you think back to season 4, like them going back to kind of basics, becoming friends, and just, building that foundation again, I think that was really good, because there wasn't this like pressure of wedding and having to kind of like show everyone that you're a couple again. It was more like, we're gonna build this foundation and see where that leads, and then they got back together in season 5.
That's smart. And if they would have done that in season 8, just decided not necessarily to be together as a couple, but to stay and work out their problems and just be friends for a little bit. Like I've just felt like Ty was such a meanie for lack of a better word, because like what Smoke and Holster said in the episode that we had him on, like she was literally being harassed and stalked.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend wasn't like
he wasn't here,
someone who was supposed to help her and protect her, and
it was wrong of him to kind of wait her to be this one person, but then at the same time him not doing anything to kind of come forward. So I don't know. So I think they did a better job with season 4, even though
absolutely. Oh, I love season 4. Season 4 is one of the best.
Yeah, because even though they were at in a bad place, I think it was more like there was more realism, and
it was more of a healthy breakup, I guess. It was I think it was just done in a healthy way.
Where season 8 was kind of like, okay, we have to have one last breakup before they get married, and we then have to keep them together forever. And so what are we gonna do? And then they did the whole Ahmed thing, and then it's like, okay, so the wedding is happening at the end of the season, so let's just like cram it
chop.
Yeah, like kiss, and then you're like engaged again, and
Yeah.
like, let's make this happen. And it was like,
yeah, they should have just waited till like mid-season 9. That's what they should have did.
And if they had done, like, I understand that, you know, mid-season finales are always the big thing, and, you know, obviously for season 8 it was like, are they gonna get back together or not? But if they had like maybe had one episode where they're working through their like thought process of everything, and then in the next episode have a healthy discussion about, you know, their feelings and what's going on, and then, you know, build that relationship as friends, and then the mid-season finale could have been them kissing and then just working through.
Well, it makes me think of that scene in season 8 when they like pass each other on the road and she said, "I miss you," and then he just says, "Take care." Like, are you serious?
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have like gotten back together with him.
No, because he's like literally waiting around so that he's waiting for her to somehow make up for it.
Yeah.
He's like, he's I'm gonna make her suffer for a little bit, is basically what it feels like. And like, you can still say to her that you miss her even though you aren't together and maybe aren't even friends at the point. Like, that, I just felt like it was so rude and degrading and disrespectful. Like, this is like the love of your life and you can't even say I miss you too.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Like it's not a stranger.
Like, say something like, I miss you too, but I'm not ready to like have whatever we had again, because I need,
or like I'll talk to you later, or I'll let you know when, like, when I'm ready. I mean, I just like you said, he's good at the running away. And he just kind of like, as soon as it happened, he just put his wall up.
Because like, if you imagine yourself to be Amy in that situation, like, what is your takeaway from his reaction?
It's like, honestly reminding me of my last relationship. Like how toxic it is. Like, he's just waiting around and making her suffer. And it's like, she was the victim here.
Yeah, because
not him.
Imagine
not Ahmed.
That the roles were reversed, and Amy would have been like, no, I don't want to talk to you because for reasons I'm not going to share with you. And you know, what would a Ty done? He would have run away, kind of like he did in season 4 when he went to that clinic to help the puppies and everything. So it's like, season 8 is really unhealthy.
Shit show. Very.
In many ways.
Very. And so disappointed in Ty. It was so toxic.
Yeah, because you know, as their fan, I wanted to see them get married, like when season 6 happened and the engagement was so romantic, and it's just like, it was like, I can't wait for it to happen. But I remember thinking in season 8 that it was undeserved in a way, because it was like, there was no, because I wanted them to be happy and committed to each other and plan the wedding together, and not like this, like, here's your reward for dealing with all that crap this season. So I didn't like, as itself, the wedding was beautiful, but at the same time, I just wasn't feeling it.
That whole season,
it was just hard for me to believe that it would be any healthier as them being a,
because they didn't even talk anything through, and it's like, Ty didn't even apologize to her for how he treated her, and how, like, he didn't listen to her, he didn't hear her out, he just left and he made it all about him.
And it was kind of like Amy was trying locks and with keys, and like, okay, this is not working.
Basically,
and then click, and Ty's like, yes, finally, like, let's get back together now, because like, you figured it out. But at the same time,
you figured it out. It's all about me. Now let's get married.
She's like, okay, I don't know what key it was, but like, yay, let's get, you know.
It's literally a textbook definition of like, almost gaslighting in a way, but like
Yeah.
toxic. It's just
Emotional,
like, yeah, he's making it
abusive.
almost seem like it was all in her head.
Yeah,
Like
kind
all
of
these
like
things that were
Ahmed.
happening. Yeah, exactly. When it came to Ahmed. And she's like, no, like I told him off. Like he kissed me and I told him off. And I'm like, at that point, he should have just been like, yeah, you know, right? I trust you.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they've gone
Like,
through it before. It's like, let's talk this through.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I
Like,
just felt it was so selfish. He was just like, it's all about him and not even like realizing
yeah,
what
he
he just
was,
did to someone who was already being harassed by
yeah.
a public figure.
And it was like, he just wasn't hearing her at all in anything.
Nope.
He just found
No one
reasons
was.
to
Everyone
be
blamed
more
her.
hurt. Yeah, more
Everyone
hurt.
blamed Amy. They all told her to go on this trip. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. She comes back a changed woman like any one of us would. No,
Yeah.
we don't like that. No, no,
Yeah.
no.
And you're being so like bratty.
Yeah,
And
we don't like you
what's
like
going
this.
on?
Yeah.
Like no, like they didn't bother asking like, how do you feel? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
How
sure.
are you?
Yeah,
Are you
like
okay?
the whole like kiss thing came out and everything, but it was never like, oh my God, like that's like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Like, do you need anything?
Yeah.
Like, nothing like that.
She
It
was
was like,
technically almost assaulted in a way.
yeah. And
I would say
it
close
was
to.
like, who are you? Like, you're not
Mm.
Amy, I know. It's like, no shit, like
I
something.
was basically been harassed and stalked,
Yeah,
and
it
could even
changed
possibly
me.
have been advances that happened that I didn't want them to happen, and then no one not even listens but doesn't care and blames you, like blaming
Yeah.
the victim.
Yeah, and it was like, then they're
She
like,
needed
okay,
support.
let's get Ty and Amy back together. Like,
Yeah.
maybe there's a reason why we're not together. Like, have you thought about that? Like,
Like if I was Amy, I would not have even screwed around with Ty after that. I've been like, you know what? Fine. You're just gonna leave over something like that. Bye.
yeah,
I'm
like,
going to the club. Like that's what should have happened. She should have been like, no, screw you.
yeah, like you're not ready to emotionally support
He's not
me.
mature enough. He's like acting like a toddler, just runs away when something that awful happened.
Yeah, like to think all the times Ty got hurt. Like, imagine her going like, well, you shouldn't have gotten on that plane. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't have gotten hurt. Like, I told you about the motorcycle and look what happened. Like,
I
I'm
know
not
she never
talking to
even
you.
right, and she never even brought that up once.
Yeah, it was
Because
always like,
everything she was afraid that was going to happen to him did happen. And he's like,
yeah,
no, don't worry about it. I'm going to be fine. No,
yeah.
you aren't fine. You're dead.
And she already has this like trust issues, and like she's not very confident, and she wants
She second
to
guesses
have that
herself.
safe relationship where she
Yeah.
can learn to
That
trust the world
she
and
deserves,
everything. Yeah. So it's
Well, and
like,
it's not hard for her either when she has, I don't like using the term daddy issues because then that always falls on the girl, and when I
yeah,
think it's the father's responsibility when they're a child.
yeah,
But she had like an absentee father, right? And then she was half raised by her grandpa, and then
yeah,
her mom died. Like, I mean,
yeah. And her
she's
sister
been through
left to
yeah,
New York,
exactly.
and
She's used to people like just leaving or not being there, so of course she wants to be reassured and like, you know, just like
yeah.
anyone would.
And then I don't know if you can call Jesse her first official boyfriend or not, but even he turns out to be a jerk. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's not very good foundation for,
No.
like, you can't just jump into a relationship and act like you don't have these, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to call them, but like these pre-relationship things
Yet
that
baggage,
yeah,
previous baggage, or
yeah,
whatever you
because
want to call it.
even like no matter how the relationship is, I think it always, when you have to kind of build your life with someone else, you have to kind of learn things about yourself and
Right.
work on those things that aren't
Right.
working in the relationship. So
Right.
yeah,
And when you get married, you take on each other's problems too.
yeah,
or you should anyways, because it's a partnership, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And
any
even if they were like, just like the fact that they're married and then they have this dream of working together, like even with that you have to have that trust. But I don't know if
and then they ended up working together and he basically like belittled her in front of everyone.
Yeah. And
do you remember that? When something they
yeah.
weren't agreeing on a certain method, because I didn't see all of season 12, so I'm not 100% sure what happened.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was more like, okay, you're doing that holistic stuff, and she was like, stuff? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is...
He used to like believe in it wholeheartedly, right? And now it's just like stuff.
Yeah, like I can understand that's an interesting
for
conflict
sure.
or whatever
I
you
know
want to call
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But at the
The
same
difference
time,
between
it's
holistic and then science medicine. Yeah.
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 The way you express yourself around that, like you can,
Right.
you have to appreciate your partner and what they do.
Right. And respect it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Even if maybe it's not the way you would do it, but it's the reason.
For sure.
Like,
but and it's one thing he said it in front of other people, and it's like,
yeah. Well, that's one of
like
the
really
things she got
belittling,
because she felt embarrassed.
That is embarrassing. I'd be pissed. I'd get divorced over that.
Yeah, like that's your husband. Like,
and he just belittled you in front of people, and it's like,
even if he doesn't agree with you, like at least some support.
Yeah. Or at least left it for a private conversation. It's supposed to be the person who has your back, and he was just kind of threw her under the bus.
Yeah.
Almost.
And at least acknowledge that you're hearing her side and not just...
Right. And considering it, or, yeah.